What happens on your iPhone stays on your iPhone. Or at least that's actually what Apple said on a billboard that they took out in the city of Las Vegas. What they were trying to do was ease consumers' concerns that all of their data on their iPhone was available to anyone willing to pay for it. Well, as it turns out, Apple, what happens on your iPhone really doesn't always stay on your iPhone, and that's why you continuously are getting sued for selling people's data. Joining me now to talk about the latest lawsuit is Scott Hardy from Top Class Action. Scott, what happens on your iPhone is not staying on your iPhone, as Apple says, is it?
No, it sure isn't. These are similar to the class actions we've seen filed against satellite TV providers, cable TV providers that are sharing your information, that were allegedly sharing your information about what you're watching to different marketers and selling that information for a big profit. According to these class actions, these two class actions are covering residents of Michigan and Rhode Island, but you can absolutely expect a federal class action that will cover the rest of the country. But sometimes you'll see these class actions that are filed in different states because different states have different protections, and different protections provide different awards. So in this one, it's stating that Apple is selling this data to different marketers about what you're listening to and what you're buying. And then those marketers can append that data to everything else they know about you. So the marketers will say, all right, well, we know that you are 30 years old. We know that you make in the middle income bracket, you live in this city, in this area of town, and they sell that whole batch of information to different groups for a big profit. Now, it's interesting that in the state of Michigan, that the class action is trying to get $5,000 for each class members as restitution for selling this personal data. Rhode Island, $250 per class member. And this will vary by state as we see more class actions, either at the state level or at the federal level, join this. Will each person in Michigan who has iTunes get a check for $5,000? No. Don't start thinking that, though that would be wonderful for all these Michigan residents. That's just what they're claiming. That's what they're saying that would be due. If we see this one continue and actually settle out, it will be much, 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 much less. And I wouldn't be surprised at all if instead of a cash check, that different iTunes customers might get a varying level of credit on their account. But who knows? Maybe we'll see a nice cash check to claimants that were affected if it actually makes it through the courts. And that's always the big if when you're going against a tech giant like Apple.
And what's interesting with this one is that part of this lawsuit says they're specifically using your iTunes data. So they're finding out, do you listen to country music? Do you listen to hip hop? Are you more of a rock person? You classic rock? What kind of movies do you watch? You action, romantic comedy, dramas, what is it? And then they're using that to sell to corporations because I guess that gives companies, whoever's buying the data really, a better picture of who you are as a person. It helps them essentially profile you so that they know which advertisers the third parties can then sell your data to. Like, oh, you want to promote a country music concert coming up? Well, I happen to have a list here of 200,000 people in that area who are actually currently listening to country music. Wouldn't you like to have that list? That is what's happening right now. And it's important to point out, I know specifically we're talking about Apple, but people, please understand, this is not just Apple. This is all of them. The tech giants. This is happening across the board. The app developers, the social media networks. This is what they're doing with your data. Your name, your address, and the things you like, that is incredibly valuable to corporations throughout this country. And that is why these companies are basically doing whatever they want with your data. If somebody's willing to pay them, we have seen time after time, these corporations are willing to sell it no matter what.
Exactly. I was at a marketing convention earlier this year, and the marketers are able to track your data down to your actual cable modem itself. So even if on your computer you're blocking pop-ups and you're blocking external advertising, guess what? They can still see all the websites you're hitting. They can still get your IP based on your modem itself. And that data is being tracked by marketers, and they are still going to be serving ads to you at your home, possibly through other devices. So if you're watching YouTube on your iPad and you had just hit a China website, a travel China website on your computer and the advertising is blocked, well, that marketer knows where you are based on the IP of the internet address of your modem itself. And now you're on your iPad and boop, there's a travel to China ad. So they are really working their tails off to figure out better ways to target you with information they think that you will click and buy. And even though you can have all the greatest pop-up blockers in the world, they're still getting that data. And when you've got people like Apple that are selling this data, illegal or not, it's getting out there and you need to be aware of it.
Absolutely. If anyone out there watching this video uses iTunes, which I'm gonna probably go ahead and assume is at least 99% of you, maybe even more than that. But nonetheless, if you use iTunes, if you use Apple products, phone, computer, whatever it is, please follow the link in the description of this video. This is a big one. This could be an even bigger one. So if you think this has happened to you, or even if you use these products, again, follow that link, arm yourself with this knowledge, stay informed, and the best way to do that is to sign up for the Top Class Actions weekly newsletter. Get all of this delivered directly into your inbox. I promise you, it'll be worth it. Scott Hardy, Top Class Actions, thank you very much for talking to me.
You're welcome. Thanks for your time, Farron.